Do you know how the sacred geese of Juno saved the city of Rome? I want to share a short story with you. As we're thinking about beauty and education and beauty of story, we often think of the great big stories, the great acts of valor or treachery that are throughout history. But I especially enjoy the light stories, the small anecdotes, those things that you actually can pull out that are wonderful, and especially in a homeschool context, to have in common, to talk about, to be a commonplace of your family of all ages. So, in the historians, the students will be reading Livy's Early History of Rome, and they're asked, how did the sacred geese of Juno save the citadel? Well, let's hear about those guard geese. First of all, I hope every family has a series of the great books. This is a great one, the Old Western Culture Great Book Series. But it will do today nicely. I have my bookmark in here. Every order from Roman Roads comes with these Old Western Culture bookmarks, a little timeline on the back. This one's for the Romans. So if you order straight from Roman Roads, you get the swag. While these proceedings were taking place at Veii, the citadel and capital of Rome were in imminent danger. The Gauls had either noticed the footprints left by the messenger from Veii, or had themselves discovered a comparatively easy ascent up the cliff towards the temple of Carmentis. Choosing a night when there was a faint glimmer of light, they sent an unarmed man in advance to try the road. Then, handing one another their arms where the path was difficult and supporting each other or dragging each other up as the ground required, they finally reached the summit. So silent had their movements been that not only were they unnoticed by the sentinels, but they did not even wake the dogs, an animal peculiarly sensitive to the nocturnal sounds. But they did not escape the notice of the geese, which were sacred to Juno, and had been left untouched in spite of the extremely scanty supply of food. This proved the safety of the garrison, for their clamor and the noise of their wings aroused Mr. Manlius, the distinguished soldier, who had been consul 3 years before. He snatched up his weapons and ran to call the rest to arms, and while the rest hung back, he struck with the boss of his shield a Gaul who had got a foothold on the summit and knocked him down. He fell on those behind and upset them, and Manlius slew others who had laid aside their weapons and were clinging to the rocks with their hands. By this time others had joined him, and they began to dislodge the enemy with volleys of stones and javelins till the whole body fell helplessly down to the bottom. When the uproar had died away, the remainder of the night was given to sleep, as far as was possible under such disturbing circumstances, whilst their peril, though past, still made them anxious. So, as a Frenchman, the irony of geese being the downfall of the Gauls is not lost on me, and I think this is a delightful, fun little anecdote from Old Western culture, which is chock full of such examples. These are wonderful stories to have as a family in common. So, do Old Western culture. The best way to do Old Western culture is as a family. Read these stories together. Tell them to your kids. The younger kids will probably be the ones who remember them best.